Old! Even the word itself sounds old, yet the festering stink of decomposition continues to await us all, whether you own an iPod or not. 1 minute you're playing Cave Hunters with Uncle, next you're 65 and retiring thanks to a crippled body and government regulations.
But life doesn't end there. Oh no. Since the invention of modern medicine, humans can easily live up to 100, and some people, like Jesse Wallace, have just refused to die at all despite mounting public persuasion.
So what happens between retirement and death? How do we fill up all those pointless hours of misery once we've been stuffed away on a shelf somewhere to await extinction? Well, before we start to think about occupying ourselves, we need to consider our pennies. How are we going to pay for everything now that we're a useless burden on society?
If you were the sort of boring shit that worked hard, read books, and saved money, you can go straight into your garden and wait for God. But if you wasted all your cash on good times and now have to rely on a pension for elderly survival, things aren't so straightforward. In years gone by, pensions seemed like a clever idea, especially during the war, when everyone became dead at a much younger age. Soon though, people started drinking Activia and living longer. But by then, all the pension companies had lost everyone's money from betting against the Chinese.
These days, there's no such thing as a pension, so the question now becomes, how can elderly people who are not on telly earn a living? It's certainly difficult, and many people are disgusted at the situation, including Jesse Wallace. In a recent attempt to dampen this disgust, Jessie released a JPEG of herself on the stairs, flashing her BAFTA, but sadly this just doubled the disgust. One man commented, "It was a bit like finding a quiche I'd left in the spare room 3 weeks ago."
However, all is not lost for old people just yet. Only this year, a new craze has swept the country's middle classes, shuffling many of Britain's mature population back into work. www.humanbeanbag.com hires out the elderly to people with bad backs so they can lounge upon the old folk, thus experiencing spinal realignment thanks to the bony angular structures of the aging skeletons beneath them.
And that's just one employment opportunity for those stupid enough to have relied on a pension. Even as I write, there are probably more coming to fruit. So don't just sit in your living room and shiver your way through winter. Gain the respect of the few family members who still come to see you by working as a beanbag until you're dead. It makes as much sense as trusting in a pension, and it will definitely help you to understand why you fought for your country. Thanks for everything, government. Thanks a lot.